everyone, my name is Rodney. I'm here with Board Game Geek at Gen Con 2019. I've been joined by Tim from Capstone Games. And Tim, you've brought us a game called Watergate.
I did.
Can you tell me a little bit about Watergate? Now, I want to say one thing. It's set in a historical setting,
right?
It
is, 1972.
Right. Okay. I'm Canadian. I know a little bit about the historical setting, but not a ton.
Okay.
It's not going to have been taught in the classrooms growing up.
Okay.
Do you feel it's important you have a deep and knowledgeable understanding of Nixon and the Watergate era to play this game?
You absolutely don't have to have it. However, about a third of the rule book is dedicated
to catching you up
to a lot of the items and who was involved and what they were doing within the investigation.
Right, if you want to know why this particular person is pictured on the card, you can go into the rule book and read the history behind it if you want. I wanted to lead with that because I think sometimes when people see a historical background put on the box of a game, they go, oh no, do I need to understand that? It's not a question we ask when we see like fantasy on the cover of a rule book. We don't go, oh, do I have to understand how all fantasy knowledge? But history sometimes makes us think that way, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, with that out of the way, can you tell me a little bit about the game and how it works?
Absolutely. So what we have is a two-player asymmetrical card game where we're using a card-driven design or card-driven game mechanic in that we have cards that are going to be multi-use. And on a player's turn, we're going to be playing a card, and it will just alternate card plays till the end of a round. Then we're going to score some items that are out on the board, and whoever is basically a tug of war, and whoever brought it further to their side is going to be able to place it. So who are the two players?
Yeah, what do we represent here?
On one side over here, we've got the Nixon administration. And the other thing I didn't mention is we have asymmetrical win conditions.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Nixon is just trying to gain momentum or gather momentum to get through the rest of the turn.
He's up to some shady stuff, and he just wants to survive before all that's uncovered. And so he's just trying to get the game, in a way, kind of over with.
Absolutely. Yep. Just trying to get through.
To be done.
And while we're doing that, maybe we're putting some evidence markers out on the board blocking what the editor is trying to do.
Because that's what the editor, if I'm the editor over here, I'm trying to uncover evidence by finding sort of confidants, people that I can talk to, get them onto the board. So we have these different characters that I want to get onto the board, and then I want to draw a connection from them to Nixon here in the center.
That's exactly right.
Right,
you need two of them.
I need to find connections to two people.
Exactly. You need to go recruit two, and then figure out how to gather evidence to connect those two. And the whole time while you're doing it, I'm trying to say, no, that person you don't have access to.
Okay.
Or no, I'm going to block you here, so it makes you have to go the long way to be able to go over there. So how are we going to get access to the tokens? Again, kind of like what we were saying, it's a tug of war at the beginning of every round. You're going to have an initiative token and a momentum token. Again, as Nixon, I'm trying to get that momentum token onto my side. Initiative. Why that matters, whoever has initiative is going to be able to play one more card. So they're going to have the first and last action of every round. Right,
which is a big deal. It feels like a lot of control.
Absolutely.
You know, when you lose it, you suddenly feel like, how do I get that back?
Absolutely.
But there's so many things you're trying to get back in this game.
Right, absolutely. And going last in a tug of war game, critical. Critical, because you get to make that end around play. Each of these start out face down. Those are evidence tokens.
Right.
As the editor, you're going to have a handful of cards.
I might play a card like this, and I might say, do you have a green? Because I don't know what these are.
You don't know what they are?
You do.
I do know what they are. And you're trying to uncover that evidence.
Yeah.
So with this card, you would ask, are any of those evidence tokens green? Let's say this one was over there.
Yeah.
It would be like that. I would flip it and say, yes, it is.
Right.
And by the way, we would move it three spaces toward you, and that begins the tug of war.
That's one of my options with playing this card is to try to manipulate this track. But the other option I have is to play the event down at the bottom.
Exactly.
Right? And this one here basically just allows me to bring out one of these informants onto the board.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. And for you, again, when you bring it out, you're going to bring it face up. And then actually with that, you get additional manipulation of some of the tokens. So with all of those informant-related cards, not only do you get that, you also gain a little bit of initiative or pull the momentum a little bit toward you.
And what's interesting about resolving the events, many of them will say, well, actually, I think all the events say on them, remove this card from the game. So we each have our own individual deck. Yep. This is a powerful event, but now it's gone.
It's gone from the game.
So this card effect at the top, which allowed me to move a piece 3 spaces, which is quite a lot, I now don't have any more in the game.
Exactly.
So that's another factor.
If you use it for the value, it goes to your discard. If you use it for the event,
it's
out
gone.
of the game.
Right.
Yep. Now the only thing that are a little bit different with those is the editor is going to have a series of journalists in their deck. And then the Nixon administration is going to have a handful of conspirators.
Right.
These folks, similarly, you can use for the value or the event, and they just go in your discard pile.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's a. I'm hearing a lot of folks asking if it's very reminiscent of a Twilight Struggle.
Yes.
It is from a CDG standpoint, but actually the game this is probably a simplified distillation of is probably closer to Churchill.
I would agree with that. I understand
the
the connection people are making to Twilight Struggle. It's understandable why they say that, but I feel like this plays in a very different way.
Absolutely.
It's a different tension, and the amount of time it takes to play. It's between 30 and 60 minutes is what it says in the box, and I would agree with that. I think 45 to an hour.
I was going to say 45.
And
yeah.
it is a tense 45 to an hour.
Yes, it is.
At least from my experience of playing the game. There's my subjective opinion on it. Very tense, very fun, I don't mind saying. And this is available as well here at the...
This is also available here.
At the show, and out there in the wild as well?
It is.
Awesome.
Yep.
So if this is a game that looks interesting to you, you can pick it up. Tim, thank you so much for showing it to us.
Very good.
And all of you, thanks for watching.